Hi, everybody. This is Linda Martin. I'm here again with James Junkin of Mariner Golf Consulting and Services, and this is another Safety Bite. Hey, James.
Yay!
Woohoo! So for this Safety Bite, I just want to mention that you have a giveaway going on, which is, you want to tell
we're giving away one of my favorite books. My favorite book's your book, right? But my second favorite book is Fred Manuel's book, Advanced Safety Management, Study on Z10 and Serious Injury Prevention. And I literally reference that book at least once a week.
Okay. So that's going on. And in order to enter for that, you need to do all three of these things. You need to follow Mariner Golf Consulting and Services. You need to share the post, any post that it says that he's given away the book, or from me. You can share that post too, that the book is being given away, and you need to like the post. So follow Mariner Golf, like and share. Okay, so that's
follow,
for
like, and share.
That's Advanced Safety Management by Fred Manuel, and James is giving away one copy of that for the month of May. So James, so here's my question for you today. Professional development. One of the things that I see young safety professionals or any safety professionals, people coming into the profession, people coming off the trades and into the profession, career changes, even people who've been practicing a long time, they haven't built up a library like you see behind me or a library like you've seen behind you. So one of the things that I really highly recommend is that people start amassing different references that will help them in their practice. So what say you on the most important books for a safety professional's library?
Well, I just mentioned one of them to begin with, and I would like to say about Fred Manuel's book. You know, that really changed the way I thought about safety. It changed my philosophy about looking at workers through training and them being the source of problems and corrective actions all focused around the worker, to more a systems approach. And really, that when I say that book changed my safety career, that's the book that introduced me to James Reason's Human Error, 1990 book, and I started reading Reason and doing extensive research with other authors, and it got me to thinking about some of the foundational material that I had might not have been correct. So if people that get to practicing as long as we have and say they haven't changed their mind about anything, then they're not challenging themselves professionally, or they're telling a big fat whopper, right?
Yep.
So it's about growth, and we all learn together. So I definitely think you need, I recommend Fred Manuel's book, David Yates' book, which is, I actually got it right here, Safety Professionals Reference and Study Guide. A lot of people use this book right here as far as studying for the ASP and CSP and maybe sometimes if they're in school and their undergraduate or graduate programs as reference material. But this is really good stuff if you're practicing safety professional, particularly if you're into consulting or if you're entering into different areas of practice that you may not be familiar with on a daily basis. So I really like these couple of books. What's something you like?
I was thinking about that as you were talking. So when I was studying for the CIH, one of the reference guides that I used was called the Industrial Hygiene's Reference Guide. It's very expensive, unfortunately, but it was a really good, it was just like David Yates' book, but for industrial hygiene. So that's one thing that I love on my bookshelf. It's dog-eared, it's underlined, it's highlighted, and all that, and I refer to that. But I also have a few, and I wish I would have put them on my table here before we started talking, but I have a couple of calculation guides. Everybody gets stuck on these calculations, and you go looking through Yates or you go looking through all these different textbooks, and there are a couple of reference guides that just have calculations in it for industrial hygiene and safety. And I will, when we put this one up, when we put this Safety Bytes up, I will throw them in the actual comments section so that people can see which ones are on my bookshelf. And then I actually have a few Peterson books on my bookshelf. I'm looking back here behind myself. I do like Roger Brower, his text that you're using for the course that you're in right now at Columbia Southern. But I use a little bit of everything, and I'm a big fan of Google.
Me too. Me too.
I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of questions from people, and they're like, "How do I find this?" And I'm like, "Just Google it, right? Google or Google Scholar."
Google Scholar. There's a lot of great articles that are out there. A lot of good stuff. Reference guides and things from OSHA, NISH has some good things. So Google is your friend as a safety professional. And, I think part of the battle is we have to understand we can't memorize everything in the field of occupational safety and health. But if you know where to go to get the answer, that's 3/4 the battle right there.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan also of Sidney Decker's books, the Field Guide to Understanding Human Error.
Yep.
That shaped some of my thinking when it comes to safety. But articles, periodicals that I've read just about everything Fred Manuel's ever published, I think. And there's a lot of commonality between some of his thought processes. Fred got the first Prevention Through Design award from NISH this past year, and he's definitely worthy of it. But I do think people need to say and understand safety is a practice. Meaning we're always getting better. We're practicing at this. And if you're not continuing to read, research, challenge your way of thinking, CSP, MSP, whatever designation you're going after, or no designation.
Snapshot in time.
That's it. You've not arrived. Even if you're, I'm sure you'll admit to this, Dr. Linda Martin with a PhD, CSP, CIH, blah, 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 blah. And they're all hard and they're all worthy to be recognized, right? But I bet you still research, you read, you challenge yourself.
Oh, you bet. Oh, you bet. There's a ton I don't know, but you know what I do know? I know how to pick up the phone. I know how to amass contacts that have complementary skill sets other than my own. I've got somebody that's, a regulation wonk, and I've got somebody on my phone tree that's confined spaces. I got somebody on my phone tree that does electrical work, and I can find these things. I want to jump back to the Google comment that I made. I can find things, but I always verify them with other safety professionals. So, when I asked you about professional development, it's not just the library, right? It's not just constantly finding stuff out for yourself, but it's interacting and networking too, which I think is a really important part of professional development. Please don't think, like James said, that just because you got some certification and you took a test that you've arrived, because that's not true, right? That's for most of these certifications, you only need 4 years of experience. And I'm telling you, with 30 years of experience, that I don't know half the stuff that I probably should, be working on constantly.